Ahoy there, my fellow chairs, and welcome back to EU4. Today we are going to be playing as Portugal as we attempt to form the nation of New Providence, conquer the entire Caribbean. That's right, we're going to be playing as pirates of the Caribbean. I've had especially one person, few people in my Discord, asking me to be playing as pirates, especially over here in the Caribbean, because there's not really any updated guides for playing over here. So yeah, we're just going to do the typical Portugal things. Hire that level 2 guy who's half cost. We could pretty much afford all the advisors at the start here. I'm not really going to touch much of my crown. Well, actually, religious state, thank you very much. Along with the land of commerce. So we get that monarch point generation. Rivals, sure. Whatever. Aragon, Morocco, Venice. I'm going to go ahead and take 3 of these light ships. But our explorer that we start out with here, and yeah, he's going to go explore. Meanwhile, we're just going to chill over here, delete this fort because it's way too expensive, and yeah, that's our early game. And we're just going to hit speed 5, explore, and get tech. Also, the achievement that I am going for here is, oh, where the heck is it? This one right here. Choose to play as New Providence and conquer all the Caribbeans. So that's our goal. The wonderful thing about Portugal is you could go ahead and complete this mission, competitive advantage, which gives us a bunch of permanent claims on, I mean, obviously over here in Castile, and then also on this northern part. This is only because I got a mission for this, for my estates. Now, if we complete this mission, we get even more admin power, which pretty much just, we just hit the core of this one province. So that's going to allow us to get to that next tech very quickly. And luckily for me in this campaign, the only ally that Morocco has is Granada. And guess what? Granada's probably not going to be able to join us very soon because they kind of have some pretenders to deal with. So I'm just going to go ahead and attack these guys. And yeah, we're going to take the province of Tangiers. We're probably going to humiliate these guys just to complete another age objective, and hopefully we could get to this. Alright, so after an unsuccessful invasion of Tangiers, due to my army getting stack wiped because of Granada blocking the strait, I was able to actually beat these guys off of my fort over here and actually start marching on to Tangiers myself. I think, yeah, they're completely out of manpower. I'd imagine their subjects are probably about to start getting ticked off. They're going to have those pretender rebels very soon. So that's going to work out in my favor very, very soon. Okay, so I could get exactly what I want out of this war, which is war reparations, Tangiers, 220 ducats, plus I can humiliate these guys. Boom. Was it really worth it? But I do get 150 admin and a level 3 advisor who's 75% cheaper, so that's also good. I could actually replace this guy, get the additional little bit of admin for the same amount of money. Finally, because our monarch point generation is fantastic, thanks to us humiliating Morocco, plus all the additional little estate privileges that we've given out as well too, plus this guy is just being a level 3 advisor, we could go ahead in 1455 get our very first idea group, which of course is going to be exploration. We're just going to be focusing on Diplo pretty much for the vast majority of this game, up until we get to the 4th idea group here for Portugal, or before we get to the 4th idea group here for land of opportunity in exploration. Then we're going to go all in on our Diplotech to get to Diplotech 7, just so then that way we can reach all of the Caribbean. Unless I'm able to reach it before then. I don't exactly remember if just getting this island down here allows me to get the entire Caribbean with all of the bonuses between Portuguese ideas here and also this. Pretty much what I'm trying to say is kind of sort of a pro-Portugal player here in EU4. They're probably my most played nation in all of EU4. Also, Burgundy just decided, you know what? Austria. That's what we're going to do. So Austria is going to be a freaking superpower this game. Also, Sweden won their independence war. And yeah, Sweden is, they're being the true lion of the north that we all know that they are. So yeah, they're invading Russia. They're probably going to be at war with Russia in the next couple years here. And honestly, I would not be surprised if they win that war. Tier 2 government reform, we're going to go ahead and take strength and noble privileges. And then because we are doing so good in terms of innovativeness, and it's only been about 13 years into the game, we're very, very close to getting our very first idea group here. Well, very first idea in exploration, and getting an additional 2 innovativeness. So yeah, our innovativeness is going to be very, very good at the beginning here. And because I did just take that very first idea in exploration, now I could actually explore the New World. Let's go ahead and do just that. And there it is. There's the Caribbean. So in order for us to actually form New Providence, we just actually have to own the province of Bahamas and have 5% privateers over here. And also the Golden Age of Piracy event needs to happen. But before I even form them, I'm going to form a colonial nation over here. And then I'm going to go ahead and do that. Because at least with the colonial nations, because the New World, but before I even form Bahamas or New Providence, I'm going to go ahead and form a colonial nation, and we'll get into why I'm going to do that a little bit later. And there's that whole Iberian wedding thing, which is kind of funny because the nobility just seats power in Castile. And here we go. We can finally take Portuguese colonial growth, which gives us additional 50 settlers. It's fantastic. We're going to be able to develop these, build a ton of colonies very quickly. Because I discovered America, present on 2 continents thanks to my land in North Africa, and I humiliated Morocco, I could also start a golden era when I'm ready. And as for our colonial policy here, we're going to go with the one where we high-five the natives with joy as we expand into their land. And look at that, we get even more innovativeness just by completing this one mission. And settler chance, which is fantastic. In terms of reach over here, though, I cannot reach here, so we're just going to have to settle for Cape Verde over here for right now. And also just to get my economy really going, because I do have quite a few loans that I took out thanks to the Moroccan war, my army getting stack wiped. We're going to go ahead and put some of these local organizations down in our state, not edicts, but below that organizations. I'm going to go for the one that gives us more goods produced. Speaking of being ahead in admin, we're going to develop Lisbon over here, so then that way we could also complete the large city over here. So it is a center of trade, and also I could expand infrastructure without actually having to develop it at all. So there we go. This is going to make it really cheap. Already put my edict down, and yeah, let's get this up to size 30 without using any of our Diplo points. One thing I'm also going to go ahead and do is grant New World charters. This is going to increase our settlers going to provinces and settler chance by 5%. And now that I completed overseas exploration, which gives us additional 50 colonial range, our ideas gives us an additional 20% colonial range. Plus I also took this for grant New World charter, which gives us another 10% colonial range. We should be able to reach the Caribbean, which sure enough we can. Finally, we're going to go ahead and start colonizing over here. We're going to start out with this province of Higüey, because when we do eventually get more colonists through expansionist ideas, yeah, it's going to be a lot easier to colonize all this stuff all at the same time. Especially because there's bonuses for having provinces next to each other for colonization. And this is probably the most important thing when doing this, is making sure that you're ahead in terms of tech. Because when you do eventually become a colonial nation over here or New Providence, you do adopt your technology of your former nation. So yeah, so far we are the smartest nation in the entire world, with Naples being our second, behind us, and same with Perm. And because we are doing a ton of colonization at the start here, I'm definitely going with this higher developed colonies. That's just going to make the development of all those provinces over here a lot better. Also, just because we're not going to be Portugal from pretty much not that much longer, we're just going to start our golden era. So we are the very first nation to go ahead and pick admin tech 7, and now we have 34 innovativeness. I'm going to go ahead and pick up expansion ideas, because of course we need the additional colonist. Also, we're almost done with exploration ideas. I'm not going to worry about getting the Diplotech 7. I'm actually okay with falling a little bit behind in Diplotech, just for the sake of finishing off exploration ideas. I'm going to go ahead and swap my focus to admin focus, so we can try and rush down as much of this in expansion as possible. Finally, I'm going to go ahead and start colonizing the Bahamas. I do have a second colonist, and honestly probably just going to continue colonizing this larger island right here. Also, if you guys want to see me do like an actual guide and stuff where I actually break down how to play as a nation or anything like that, let me know in the comment section down below. Maybe I can make a guide about Portugal, and how easy it is and how fun it is actually to play as Portugal, despite the early game being kind of slow with the colonization. But and there we go, we now officially have a colonial nation here in the Caribbean. And because we do have this land claimed by us, because we were the first nation to establish a colonial nation over here, and we are Catholic, we get even more settlers to help us develop, well, to make our colonies grow even faster. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and colonize a little bit more of this area over here, just so that way, you know, when I do swap over to New Providence, it is a bit easier to conquer a lot of this land in a shorter amount of time. Also, we're going to start deving up the province of the Bahamas, because that is going to be our capital. We're going to basically go from being a pretty large nation in Portugal, or mid-sized nation in Portugal with a colonial nation, to a one province minor that has to conquer the entire Caribbean. So yeah, we're going to invest a lot into the Bahamas before we swap. So I think now is a good time to go ahead and start getting our pirates over here. So I'm going to just privateer over here in the Caribbean. And we just have to really have 5% of pirates over here. Freaking. And here it is. Literally, you just have to wait for that golden age of piracy event to happen. You just have to own the Bahamas. And there's 3 different pirate republics you can create. There's one in Jamaica, which is Port Royal, and one in Tortuga, but you have to be Protestant in Tortuga. But really, Bahamas and Port Royal, you could do at the start of the game whatever religion you want. But if you want to be New Providence for this achievement, you need to make sure that you own the Bahamas. We're going to choose this top option right here. We're going to become a pirate republic, become a New Providence, and we're going to take a pirate's life from me. Oh, and we get a really cool flag, which, I mean, I'll make sure I put it up on the screen right now, but yeah, this is our flag. And we also get Captain Benjamin as our ruler every single time. And yes, we could actually rival other New World nations, like subjects and stuff like the Caribus, and we could attack these guys. We do have a truce with them, but as you guys can see, Portugal would not get involved, and that's because our capital is also in the New World. And yeah, we pretty much have free reign to attack any colonial nation over here that we so choose. In terms of ideas, yeah, we do actually get a couple idea sets just chosen for us. So we get plutocratic and economic ideas. I think we'll probably drop economic, or she will see. But we do get piratical ideas, which gives us naval maintenance modifier, yearly naval tradition, unjustified demands when we complete it all. We don't have to worry about religion in any of our provinces, looting speed, coastal raiding range, infantry costs, leaders without upkeep, global naval engagement modifier, unrest and morale of navies, naval combat bonus off our own coast, which is fantastic, and sailor recovery speed and rebel support efficiency. And my very first thing that I'm going to do is my pirate republic here, is we're going to go ahead and start raiding the coastline of everybody around us. And obviously we can't do the Caribbean just because we have a truce for the next 5 years. Oh well. Oh, and that whole Protestant Reformation thing just happened, so that's lovely. Thank you, Augsburg, for ruining my Age of Discovery stuff here. And yeah, I did just drop economic ideas. Instead, we're just going to go ahead and pick up expansion ideas. Because yeah, we could finish colonizing the rest of the Caribbean. And on top of that, maybe we can even start colonizing around us, like on these coastal provinces over here. Maybe even expand into Mexico or even Colombia a little bit and get some more trade and money. And even better, we can now choose our Tier 6 separation of power government reform. And we get War Against the World Doctrine, which is basically like imperialism, but early game. So yeah, that's exactly where we're going to be going with. Plus 8 years of separatism is very nice. And we no longer get slaves in our country. And there it is. War Against the World CB against all countries. Literally any country that's not a pirate nation. Yeah, we get that CB on them, which is just awesome. Alright, so our truce with the Caribbean is over. We're going to go ahead and do War Against the World, which requires us to take their capital. We should have naval supremacy over these guys. Let's do this. First battle is not looking too good, but my guys may just be able to get there just in time. Yes, perfect. And oh my goodness, we just barely won that. All right, let's go ahead, stack wipe their army, and we should be able to carpet siege them into the ground and win this whole war. Okay, so after that early on war or battles and stuff like that, this became super easy, and yeah, I could just full annex them for super cheap. This is literally going to cost me like no points whatsoever at all. It is going to be 739 admin, but we do get a ton of money out of this, and we pretty much conquered most of the Caribbean. And guess what? Now we got colonialism, so yay. Oh, and I guess Portugal decided to invade me, and it's just me mano against Portugal. But guess what? My navy's just as good, if not better than theirs, especially with my amazing admiral. So yeah, let's go ahead and crush the Portuguese. This honestly should be just a complete oh yeah, they're trying to flee. They're trying to, but they just can't. In fact, oh, this is the entire transport fleet. Okay. That's pretty much all of Portugal's navy right there. Is just 32 ships. They have another 5 somewhere else, probably over here somewhere, but don't think they'll be able to actually land or do anything. I was able to build one guy over here, and we're gonna force their navy out to fight mine, just to see how this goes. And I mean, I'm able to win that engagement, but still, it was actually pretty rough. Go ahead and burn some of these provinces down and force their navy out for another fight in a moment here. Even outnumbered, we're just demolishing the Portuguese navy. That's amazing. That's beautiful. And in this war, because my navy was so dominant, I could actually take all of the Portuguese stuff that's remaining here in the Caribbean, plus 200 ducats, which is just perfect. And now you can actually see our name. We own like almost all the Caribbean. Pretty much we just have to finish colonizing or conquering whatever islands are over here, and that includes the Bermuda island over here. And of course I've stated up all this stuff, so yeah, let's lower the autonomy in all these provinces so we can make some money, maybe have some more troops, have some more boats, all that kind of good stuff. And yeah, I'm losing 32 ducats because well, yeah, Portugal was kind of sort of colonizing a couple of these provinces, so it's going to be a bit of a challenge to maintain. But at least I got 200 ducats out of that war, and I could probably raid a bunch of these guys over here now. For a tier 7 government reform, we're going to go with administrative divisions for extra governing capacity because, yeah, we're kind of over it already. Really bad. And it's time to wombo with Portugal again. Okay, Portugal. I see how this is going to go. Every couple of years, we're going to be at war with each other. Which, I don't think Portugal really beefed up their... Yeah, they have the same navy as last time. Okay. So, in other words, I'm about to get a lot more boats and a lot more money. Ah, there's the Portuguese navy. Let's raid their coast and let's go destroy their entire navy. Listen, I too would be scared of my man Bartholomew over here. So come on, we gotta duke this out like men. Third idea group time. Okay, so I have a couple ideas. Honestly, I could go with this would be really memey and go with naval ideas, or I could go with quality ideas. But honestly, oh, or even maritime ideas. Yeah, screw it. We're going to go with maritime ideas. We're going to have the biggest navy in the game. We're going to make it unstoppable. And next, we're going to go with naval ideas. Okay, in this war, defensive war, mind you, we're going to be able to fully conquer the remainder of the Caribbean. I did just colonize these 3 provinces because there's no way that Portugal would be able to just simply, well, you know, make a colonial nation here. So I'd actually have to directly attack Portugal, fight England and Spain. I don't want to do that. So we're just going to take whatever land we can take. Probably go heavily into debt because it's a colony. I'm already going into debt here. And yeah, pretty much own the entire Caribbean. I think really the only thing that's left is, yeah, we just have to own Bermuda from England. But now I can complete this. Get permanent claims on stuff. And I see a lot more of the Europeans like Spain are colonizing. And even Scotland and England. So I could go ahead and start raiding their coastline as well too. Also, if I really wanted to, I could form the Caribbean, Cuba, or Haiti. I'm not going to do any of that. We're not doing that at all. It's fine. I was just kind of curious looking, over at Europe. Europe looks pretty normal. Ottoman's pretty normal. And then Gurkhani. Just the Timurids are having an amazing game apparently this time around. Even Ethiopia's doing good. Same thing with Timbuktu. And in case you guys are curious, economically, we're doing pretty well off. We're making 20 ducats a month. We would be making about 25 if I didn't have 8 loans because I went supercharged colonization. Army-wise, we could have almost 40,000 troops. Boats, we could have about 70 boats. And once we finish colonizing Canamar over here, I'm going to drop expansion ideas and probably pick up either admin, economic, or even innovative ideas next. Just so that way we could start getting a little bit more money, plus some of the policies, like I mentioned, I'm going to be taking naval ideas at some point. So paired up with economic ideas, production efficiency, goods produced, that's actually a very, very nice policy to take. Alright, so I finally got the institution for printing press, and we're just kind of sitting around waiting for an opportune time to go ahead and invade England. So one thing I'm going to go ahead and do to kind of strengthen myself, weaken England a little bit, is I'm going to start invading what would be the United States. We're going to start out with this Native American tribe right here, push into the 13 colonies and New Denmark, who actually Denmark rivaled us, and just start expanding up this coastline a little bit. Heck, we may even be able to invade New Spain at some point, and I'm keeping a close eye on French Columbia. In this war, I'm just going to keep it very simple. I'm just going to take this much land, which thanks to our amazing CB war against the world, it only costs us 21 war score. All these provinces are extremely cheap, plus they're new world provinces, so they are even cheaper than usual. And it will be actually a lot of admin for me to core this stuff. I am going to suffer a decent amount of AE. We'll be fine. So I launched a war against Denmark's subject of New Denmark. They're trying to enforce peace on me. I'm going to say no. So now we are officially at war with Denmark and New Denmark. And yeah, it did just bring my war score down from 30% to just 10%. But honestly, we should be fine. Our Navy's going to be able to handle Denmark. It's no problem at all. Finally, after a really long, dragged out war where, I didn't really suffer much attrition or losses, really, to be honest with you. Financially, I didn't lose really anything at all. But Denmark, they just refused to make peace with me. But now I could go ahead and take all of New Denmark's stuff here in the south. And now what I'm going to be doing is gearing up for my war against England. Because, yeah, really, that's our next big war. They have 102 ships. I currently only have 77, but honestly, I think our Navy could probably handle theirs. For my fourth idea group, as I mentioned earlier, to be honest with you, it's between either naval ideas, which I know sounds goofy and fun and weird, and quality ideas, which does buff up both our army and our Navy, but, we're pirates, man. Might as well go all in on our Navy. Oh, would you look at that? And, yeah, just us versus Britain, Newfoundland, 13 colonies. This should actually be interesting. What is this war over? Chikora. This province right here. Okay. Let's try this out with the Navy, I guess. See how this all goes. Also, maybe get my army out of here so they don't get stack wiped. Yeah, it does seem like my Navy's just straight up better than this British Navy. Oh my god. I just stole 10 ships off of them too. Alright, I'm gonna have to just simply make peace with the English. Not much I could do when they actually occupy a bunch of land over here. So, yeah, we're gonna give up a decent amount of our North American stuff up here. Luckily, we don't have to give up our claim over here in Bermuda. But, yeah, we're just gonna give up this stuff, and then in our next war, I will be the one attacking Britain because our Navy can actually do some damage as long as it's off of one of our own coastlines. Alright, so my truce with the British is over, so we're going to go ahead and invade them for Bermuda here. I'm not going to do war against the world because that requires me to take the capital. There's no way. However, what I can do is land one guy here, take Bermuda, and use my Navy to defend my land. Meanwhile, while gaining some war score on the 13 colonies and maybe even up here in Newfoundland. So, yeah, let's go ahead and give this a try. Alright, I'm just going to have to give up the rest of my 13 colony stuff because the freaking British, they were able to land 100,000 troops over here in Bermuda, and there's no way I'm going to be able to just naval invade Bermuda if there's just 100,000 people over there. And I mean, I guess technically this works more to my advantage because now they don't have anything that they can actually siege down other than my island. I mean, it still sucks regardless, but still. I guess better than nothing. Alright, we're going to go ahead and give this another try. At this point, I just want to complete this achievement. It's just been, England has been a pain in my side the entire time. So honestly, we're just, at this point, 1646, we're just going for this achievement. And I just need Bermuda. We're just going to go ahead and attack England, who's currently at war on the other side of the world. And oh, look at that, they're no longer allied to Portugal, so that makes things even easier. And this time I'm smart because I actually have my army right here ready to go and land in Bermuda, and all I had to do is just sit on that province and boom, we could get it. Oh, 13 colonies I see you're trying to land, all you cowards. Well, I don't think the Ottomans are going to be #1 great power for much longer. Finally, we have a real naval engagement. Come on, boys, let's destroy the, oh my god. With the entire British Navy, pretty much. Well, Ottomans are definitely not getting any better anytime soon. Oh, freaking finally, I could just take Bermuda and take like 148 ducats. And I'd imagine maybe, just maybe I just have to core this and we could call it a day. Never mind, I don't even have to wait a whole whatever time to core it up. As long as I own the province, boom, Yaar Haar, a pirate's life for me. So yeah, that's just where we're going to go ahead and leave it for today. In terms of development, we're just shy under 400 dev here. Economy's not too bad, actually. We're actually making a decent amount of money. We would be making more money soon enough with all of our plantations here. And in terms of great powers, these are all the great powers. Oh, Deccan. I mean, that's really cool, actually. This is disgusting. This I do not like, but anyways, yeah, that's where we're going to go ahead and leave it for today. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Hope you guys give New Providence or Tortuga or Port Royal a try over here. They are a very fun experience, and they're very easy to form. And of course, you're going to make a good amount of money. And obviously, I know some of you guys are going to go off to conquer all the New World, etc., whatever. But yeah, please give these areas a try, and I hope you guys could use this as a guide in order to get that achievement. Now, with that being said, I will see you guys in the next one. Chairman out.